Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures, and it's time for our inaugural 2023 weekly painting progress. And yes, I did manage to get some stuff painted over the course of my vacation, but I will admit it wasn't much. And that's just because I have been wholeheartedly lazy and just soaking up every free moment I've had. But yeah, I did manage to paint. Woo! A figure or two. So we've got a random Roman Velite, an unarmored one from the looks of things. And I want to say this is a Victrix model. I'm about 99% sure. Very simple, very straightforward, very glossy still. That's a shame. Someday I might do something with those shields of theirs. I don't know. I might just have to suck it up and get some of those little big men transfers. I don't know if they make them for the Velite shields, though. I know they make them for, obviously, the Roman legions and, you know, all the other dudes. He's all set to harangue some of the random Gauls I've got laying around here. It's funny, when in doubt, or when I'm just not feeling any other type of model to paint, there's always some sort of historical figure waiting in the shadows of the bins box, hoping to get some paint. So that's why we've got a random Velite today. Actually, I got a couple other random historical dudes. Yet another goth archer. Again, nothing super exciting. A little bit too glossy still. It can always be worked on. But I do really like this kit. It's just super straightforward. You can use these guys for just about any sort of, you know, Dark Age period faction. They've got pants and tunics and bows. What more could you ask for, right? Moving away from the historical stuff. No, let's just take one quick segue back into historicals, and that's this model. And I'm trying to figure out, I don't know what I got on his back there, who exactly made him. I feel like he was a Test of Honor model, like one of the limited edition models that, like, if you bought the first run of the starter set when Warlord was making it, he came with it. I feel like. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I could be wrong. It was funny because he had this, like, big piece of flash that I could not get off of his face. And I figured, you know what? Let's just paint it like he's got his loose anime strand of hair hanging down there in front of him. I don't know if I was going to try to paint him up like Shinsengumi style or what, but he's just got a generic overcoat and his hakama there. So we'll just add him to the pile of ever-growing samurai warriors. One of these days, I'm going to finish my Plastcraft terrain stuff that I got ages ago. Maybe that'll be one of my resolutions this year. Get all that done so I can actually go play Test of Honor with all that stuff. I've got a bunch of it already finished. I won an auction on it years ago for just like dirt cheap, and I have yet to actually finish it. I built a lot of it. Don't get me wrong, but I haven't built it all yet. Okay, as promised, let's get away from all of the normalcy stuff. Let's get into some more fantasy or non-historical stuff. All right, these guys are semi-historical. I don't remember which faction they belong to. They're Song of Ice and Fire figures, and they were originally bright red, so that makes me think Lannisters. But maybe they were the Mountains Men? That feels right. I liked this set. That's the funny thing about this game. I have yet to actually play a Song of Ice and Fire, and I'll be honest, I'm not a huge Game of Thrones fan. I'm not, but there's some neat stuff. I did read the first few books. But if you want just like individual sculpts, and yeah, I got another one hanging out in the wings here. I think these are really fun models, and you can always find them on eBay. I know there's guys that have dumped in our local game shop in the consignment case random individual sculpts for like $1 or $2. To me, that's fair. I mean, they're really high quality sculpts from Cool Minis. You know, and you get a ton of individual sculpts. They look great. They paint up quick and easy. I gave him a friend here. Of course, this guy doesn't have a scabbard. I don't know why. I wasn't sure if he's supposed to be wearing some kind of a male mesh or if it's some kind of like a quilted pattern, so I just went with the quilted stuff. I wanted to kind of try to differentiate the chain from the plate. I don't know if I was super successful in that, but I did attempt it. And they're a good sized model too. They're a little bit bigger than the historical stuff. Definitely bigger bases, you know, but then again, the game is made for those bases. So, one of these days I'm going to do some of the Greyjoys I've got laying around. They have like the Droon looking dudes with the full face masks, swinging axes crazy. Alright, here's two real quick paint jobs, if they're in focus. These are from Archon's Dungeons and Lasers. You are super glossy still, my friend. A random prisoner. I want to say this base is probably printed. Yeah. I was going to say it doesn't feel like a plastic base. And then a Skull Remade, who I probably should spend a little bit more time doing the details. I didn't even bother painting her face. And I got to fix the stripes on her dress there. Maybe I'll at least just go throw a little bit of a wash on the eyes. She's closing her eyes as she contemplates why she's stuck sweeping these planks in the middle of a dirty, rocky field. I mean, from a distance, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference, to be honest. And it's funny because people really griped about how tiny these figures are. They don't look that tiny. They really don't. I have got piles of the Archon stuff. If there's anything in particular you guys want to see, by all means, let me know in the comments. If I haven't already built it, I went crazy when I had COVID stuck in this room, because I was stuck in the room where I film, actually, with piles and piles of plastic models. And in the 2 weeks I was stuck here, I still didn't get through everything in that pledge. It's that much. Or my Shadows of Brimstone stuff, which I'm still building all these years later, but yeah, I digress. Alright, what else we got? A random space elf from Raging Heroes. I really liked this pose, and I just felt I could not do it justice in terms of painting. I tried, and I probably need to go back and re-highlight the fur he's got around his shoulders. I just don't feel like I did a good job on it. It did get highlighted, I promise you. But the problem is, I think just either due to the lighting, due to me playing around with different sprays, what have you, different washes, it's really not noticeable. And you can see, as always, what an awful support removal job I do. I need to get some new files, I think, to sand that stuff down. I like his faceless mask there. I'm assuming these guys are supposed to probably be like stand-ins for Harlequins and Eldar Warlocks and stuff. Farseer types. I like all this just bling he's got dripping off of him there. But it's funny, because Raging Heroes, I mean, it's like literally, I don't think there's been a month outside of when they did their Fairy Court stuff that there hasn't been something that immediately has gotten my attention. Like this month with their angels and demons, I was like, I've already printed a ton of it. Again, maybe if you guys want to see it, let me know. We'll go ahead and grab it. It's already sitting there, waiting to be primed. No, maybe I already did prime it. A model that has been sitting on my table for months on end now. Oh, what was this guy's name? Something the Flame Wind. It comes from Legends of Signum. I know he's finally available on their Patreon, no, the My Mini Factory page. So if you wanted to get a STL of this guy, it is available. This was actually a solid resin cast mini. For whatever reason, he just kind of existed like in their back catalog display, and he was never available to actually purchase. I could not make up my mind how I wanted to paint him. Every samurai I do seems to be red, so I kind of wanted to go something blue, and I thought the blue and yellow matched. I don't know why he's got the little nobleman rat hanging out on top of him. On top of his sword, I should say. I'm just amazed that I have not broken anything on him yet. That is an impressive feat. Didn't break the coins, the flags, anything. And I've dropped him multiple times. So knock on wood there. He's going to stay in one piece for perpetuity. He's good size too. Alright. out. And finally, because I wanted to get these guys done, we painted up the Gore Chosen. Or at least the Gore Chosen from Warhammer Underworlds, not the Gore Chosen, which was a really fun game. From, was James Hewitt, I think, designed it. Dude who used to do Manic stuff and did Silver Tower, I think. A bunch of other... Anyway. Yeah. Gore Chosen was a lot of fun. It was the basis for what became Combat Arena, which was a game that was available in a lot of the, at least North American, California, because California's the only one I know. United States, we've got Barnes & Noble, the big bookstore company that they have a bunch of the GW stuff at. So anyway, that's where I got it, with gift cards that my students gave me. So what a perfect use. I still haven't painted Combat Arena. Painted completely Gore Chosen and had a ball with it, and I don't know what I did with it. I guess I sold it or traded it or did something with it. So we've got that guy with the flaming hammer. We've got our demon possessed dude. I didn't realize at first he's actually supposed to be wearing shorts there. So I did make sure and try to go back and fix that. It took me forever to come up with a decent way to get these kind of fossilized looking bones for his horns here growing out of the giant tusks. I don't even know what I did now. I think I was playing around with various washes. And finally we got our Thulsa Doom looking dude. I don't know why it just reminds me of Thulsa Doom. Maybe the big fancy headdress. He looks nothing like James Earl Jones, obviously. Man, I'd be hard-pressed to decide which line of models I think I like more these days from GW. That I feel like I'm consistently getting a reasonable return on my price value. It would have to be either Underworlds or Necromunda. Not the Forge World stuff, but yeah, I did already start painting that Gore Shiv. I could not resist. So that's one more warband down. I do have a couple others still floating around, waiting to get finished. I know my son was looking at the new Goblin ones and went, hey, that fit in really nice with your other Goblin warbands, and I like Goblins, and I'm like, maybe I need to get another one. So we'll see. I might pick up some of those Rivals decks, I think, to go with some of the other warbands I've already got. But you know what? They're a really solid release. I really like these guys, and I got a nice dark red for my Crimson Court, so I can differentiate between the Khorne red armor and the vampire armor. So hopefully we'll get the Crimson Court painted up as well in the near future. So I'll take a drink because my mouth is super dry here. I gotta say, a nice little start to this new year. Hopefully everybody out there is getting their stuff painted and enjoying themselves. Hopefully we will see some stuff from Mr. Sparkle Trout, since he is back in the United States and he has no excuse. And I don't think there's any major Warframe updates coming anytime soon, so he has that going against him. And I've got a pile of Bestiarium stuff that I know he's going to want to paint. So hopefully we'll see some stuff from him too. Like I said before, if there's anything you guys want to see, by all means let me know down in those comments below. And as always, we'll have links to where you can track down all this stuff yourselves. And I don't know about you guys, but I am looking forward to a very fruitful and productive year this year as well. So, with that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye!